All right, welcome everyone to the first episode of the OnlyBands podcast. We're also going to be a music magazine eventually, but Jed actually needs to get a website running for that. And yeah, this was also going to be Jed's OnlyFans, but he felt like he didn't have enough to offer. So we got this. All right, I'm Quinton, and our guest today is the one, the only Mikey Richards from Violent Soho. We are stoked to have you here, man.
Thanks for having me.
And you got Jed here as well from OnlyBands.
And I'm Joe Lagrasso from Friendly Aussie Buds or the Friendly Aussie Podcast.
All right, So, we're going to be asking, Mikey a couple of questions, just have a chat about recent stuff, and then afterwards we're going to go into a game of Cards Against Humanity, always a party favourite.
Which Jed has completely customised for the music fans.
By completely, I've changed about 25 cards.
He just taped words over.
It was a Jed effort, okay?
That's all you got. That's all you should ever expect from me.
Okay, yeah. So, first question for Mikey, I guess, is that do you have a favourite song off Everything Is A-OK, and have you got the chance to play it live yet?
My favourite song is Slow Down Sonic, and so no, we haven't played it live.
Oh, I love that song. I think it's definitely my favourite.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. It's either that or Canada for me.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we've played that. Yeah. So, yeah, we haven't really got to play the new songs very much. We did a show recently, but we did play some of the new songs, but quite a few of them, but it wasn't really with the focus on the new stuff. It was more like focus on, like the sing-along, the more sing-along-y stuff, because we couldn't have a mosh pit or anything, so it was just like everyone wanted to like get them singing the songs.
Just play what everybody wants.
Does it make you sad when you don't see a mosh pit? Like, it would make me pretty sad.
Not this one time that we've played a show with no mosh pit. Because it was such a special occasion.
Yeah.
So
So how was the River Stage show for you? Your first show back in over a year?
Yeah. It was amazing. I felt like I'd been working towards it since the beginning of this year. I didn't really realize that I had the show coming up, but I knew we were going to do something. And I was just trying to get myself geared up for a show and really work towards it, and just rehearse heaps and trying to get creative again. I usually need something coming down the pipeline to like get in the zone. Like I have to have something coming up. So that was part of the struggle with the lockdown, was having nothing coming up for so long. It was just like,
what do you do with yourself?
You draw a blank slate as a human being, almost. But that's a bit dramatic, but But anyway, so having that coming up was something to really like look forward to, I guess. So when we did that show back at the River Stage, it was very, very nostalgic, but in a very happy way, like, as well. So yeah, having no mosh pit. I think we directed the way the show was going to flow out around the fact that we knew there wasn't going to be one. So we sort of like tailored it around like a lot of the more sing-along type songs that we've got. Or maybe some of the more poppy, like fan favorites or whatever. And just having everyone there who'd supported us over the years, being in that front row section with the seats. We had, like family members, people who are like journalists who've been there giving us love for years, and people from other bands and just fans in general who had like all the t-shirts or whatever. We had this just like sort of like big fan base of our biggest fans right there, the most important people to us, and just like being able to like look out and see them, and everyone's just standing there. Like if I was watching us, I'd like to like have a front row and not be in the mosh pit, just watch. So like for that one nostalgic show, it made sense. Yeah. But then moving on to Darwin, which we just played as our most recent show, having like just a random crazy festival crowd and a swathing mosh pit, like this humongous circle pit opened up in that show, and it was like just a classic. Like that was that was like a whole nother moment of feeling like we're back, you know what I mean?
Do you have any like specific shows that you've ever played in the entire time of being in Violent Soho that was like the most memorable show you've ever played?
You know what? I've never actually. I should like have that ready to go as an answer. I've done like there's heaps.
What's the first one that comes to your mind?
After having talked through it, with deflected for a second to have one come to my mind. Probably be a tie between the last two times we played Splendor in the Grass, I think.
Yeah.
Because both times are both times would represent the biggest crowds we've played to. Being like a sold out, packed out, 20, 30,000 people, whatever that is.
Amphitheater.
Yeah. The first time was just after Hungry Ghost. And so we sort of started to have this huge momentum come out of seemingly out of nowhere and became like a big band, I guess.
Yeah.
And to be confronted with this stadium sized crowd of people was just amazing and scary and rad and just beautiful. And it was this beautiful sunset, so it looked lovely, looking out back at the thing. And then the second time, the most recent time we played, it was almost it was a later in the evening set. We were with the big bands right at the end, amphitheater again, and just to have it's like showing ourselves we're still at this level, we've only improved, and we want to be a mainstay. We want to be this type of Hilltop Hoods type band for you guys.
Yeah.
We're bringing it again, and just tailoring something I guess around what the meaning of Violence had become to the Australian audience was something. It felt like we had much more control, and it was this huge moment where we showed that we could do a big event type performance and just totally own it and be world class on that level, and impress people and our peers as well and everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And look at you guys now. The heads of probably Aussie rock and roll of the last
I want to go play Splendor in the Grass.
20 years.
Yeah. Speaking of playing shows, is there a album tour for Everything Is A-OK in the works, or are you guys just playing shows around?
Definitely, but it's just so impossible to really flesh that out.
Yeah.
So, you see it with the current lockdown
Yeah.
happening in Melbourne. If we had a national, we will lose a lot of our personal business, I guess, on that side of it, if we have to cancel shows. The money that goes into pre-production once you lock something like that, like a big run of dates, to cancel, it's not as easy as you think.
Yeah, James got interviewed for this.
Especially when it's last minute.
Yeah.
You know?
James got interviewed for this article by the ABC over the weekend, and he was going on about how when COVID first happened, you guys lost 1.6 million in cancellations for that first lot or something like that.
Yeah. I've never thought of it. I've never put a sum
Put a
on
number
that.
on
Yeah, no, he even said, I don't actually know the exact number, but it was something like that.
Are you trying to
it
just
would've
punch
been
him in the dick?
something. Overall, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy to think about.
Yeah.
No, I was
That's
reading
why we
it.
got That's why we get to have JobKeeper.
I was reading it and I was like, wow, that's a lot.
You lost 30% of your income? Yep, easy.
Yeah, it was actually last year. Last year was a terrible timing year for that to happen to us in particular, because we
You had the
had
album.
quite an extensive break in between cycles for multiple reasons. We'd intended to have a little bit, but not necessarily as much, but because of whatever people, we were having kids, getting married and divorced and all this stuff. It just took a little bit longer. And we'd sort of really held out. We're like, this is going to be a big year. And we've got our families. We're looking to really set ourselves up, I guess. We've been doing this for a really long time. So from the business perspective, when you look at turnover, that's hugely, hugely devastating to our business. Yeah, hugely.
I'm sure it'll come back eventually.
Yeah.
Just got to grind for another 10 bloody years.
Yeah, it's going to have to mosh with masks on our face.
I'd allow it.
Hey, I'd do it. If that's what it took for us to mosh again, I'm done.
That's an easy compromise.
Virtual reality mosh, man. That's what
Nah, I'm not about
You
that.
guys are doing-
You're in your house going
Stop pushing people
Yeah.
up here.
How's are you guys doing the Splendor VR thing?
yeah.
How's that gonna work?
I don't really
You
know.
don't know?
I'm not trying to.
Hasn't been fleshed
I'm
out
not
yet.
trying to get my head around it. I'm trying to just think about playing the drums.
Yeah.
And
What
they
did
can
you
do? Whatever
do?
they want around me playing the songs. That's all I have to do, really.
How did you occupy your COVID time? If you weren't, were you guys writing songs or just chilling?
No, we didn't really write any songs. We've had a little bit to work on, but not much. But it was just terrible timing, like, because the frustration, I guess, or the angst of like not touring the new album is super not motivating for us to then go and write new songs, because we're still like waiting to tour this album. I guess like it's gonna get to a point where we will, but yeah, I guess like we weren't really in the satisfied space of mind to want to go ahead and start writing more shit. We were like, when are we going to get to tour this album? But you know, that's been out for
Almost 2 years.
15. No, it's in April last year actually.
So a bit over a year now.
14 months.
Feels like 2 fucking years.
Yeah, doesn't it?
I still remember the live
Because you would
stream
have
you did.
recorded it like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Those
Pretty much,
billboards you
May
guys put up-
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those billboards you put up around Brisbane were like the most controversial thing ever, and they were so much fun.
Yeah.
Just this massive
Yeah.
black billboard that just says, "There's a baby boomer across the street who won't stop looking at me."
yeah.
My girlfriend gives me shit for that line constantly.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'll say it to her. He said it. He said it.
Yeah, it's a good lyric.
I still remember the live stream you guys did, and you had to sit on opposite sides of the couch, and you had to have the other two like joined by a live stream, and I was like, oh god, this is the new normal for the next few
That
months.
was so funny. Because that was like our album came out, and James and I met up at our mate's studio to film it and stream it, and yeah, we could only have 2 people in the room.
Yeah.
And that was fun because me and James got wasted for that. We were wasted,
Yeah,
and I was talking. So,
I remember.
So I was throwing so much smoke.
Yeah.
It was funny as fuck. And then like I remember and then me and James stayed up like all night raging. And then I got like a text message at like 7:00 in the morning just as I'm going to bed, and it's like. Oh yeah, that was great last night. Great stream, and I was like, oh yeah, the stream. That's what I'm up. That's what I'm doing. That's what I was doing 12 hours ago. And then and yeah, because wow. And he's like, but I think we should delete it, take it down because we don't want people rewatching it. And I was just like, is that just because like we said a bunch of dicey jokes and it's like take that down? And I was like, no, keep it up. It'll be funny as fuck. I was outvoted on that one. Straight away.
Someone would have recorded it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
It's probably legal.
Too easy to screen record.
Yeah.
It might be in the back end. I've got to get the logins.
Just re-release it.
Yeah.
Release it for the Violent Soho doco, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's a bonus feature.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I've always wanted to ask you, Mikey, have you played in many other bands aside from Soho? Or is it something-
Yeah, I have like I've played music since I was about 12. Or younger. That's when I started playing drums. But yeah, I grew up in a very religious background, like sort of like I guess the type of it was like the Uniting Church. Which
I went to
sort of
school
like
in
between
Mansfield.
like a conservative. Yeah, so I didn't go to. I went to one in Logan. My dad was a minister. He's actually like a theologian type. Like he's the principal of the Bible college at this church that we were attached with. And I grew up in like because there's so much music in like the sort of it's like that type of gospel singing, talking in tongues, praise and worship shit. Kind of like Hillsong, but it was a little bit more grounded, like less like I guess like trying to think of a word that
They weren't waiting for the apocalypse.
camp, like really, like more like spiritual in a way. So
Yeah.
like I just gravitated to the music side. If I had to be there so often, I had to go to like 3 services on a Sunday and a Saturday
I guess you
night
can
one
thank
as
God
well
for
because
your
my dad
musical
worked
ability.
there. So that's what I just gravitated towards. And the quality of musicians in this church was like tremendous, like world class musicians. So it was a fantastic education for me. And I convinced my parents to buy me a drum kit, and I think my first band was when I was about 13 years old with my mate that I was on the bus with. We do like Oasis and Green Day and Metallica covers.
That's a good
called
blend.
Steel
Yeah.
Glacier.
Steel Glacier.
Yeah.
You ever thought about a reunion tour? Or...
Nah.
I'll come. I'll be one
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah, we'll be in the front row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's seated.
But, yeah, I was I was in another band with this dude. We had different sort of iterations of the same band with different other guys, and like the names were great. Like I think we were called 420. That's one of the names. But then we changed it to like man, I can't remember any of the other ones.
I've got a band name that I really want to create one day. Like, this is going to be a thing. It's going to be my dad band. It's going to be the sack wax.
Just remember, this is a podcast.
Yeah.
I hope you bought the rights to that name.
Yeah.
Shit. I'll copyright it tonight.
There is a band out there called Moose Knuckle. I've seen them play before.
I've heard of them, yeah.
I played in another band with one of my best friends that I grew up with, and this bloke that we met in the city once. He's this like crazy gutter punk dude.
Yeah.
He had like no teeth, like mohawk, or he had like a fucking hunchback. He was like 26 years old. We were like 18, and we started the band with him. It was called Ninja Sushi Express. It was like really, really cool, hardcore, like really scuzzy as hell, but like really fast, like just speedball shit. And that was like when I got into like the more like punk scene. Like that was just this gateway because this dude, all of his friends were like the most like scuzzy punk. And there was a real like, sort of like heroin scene back then. This is like early 2000s. There's still like heroines around. And these people, like you go to these house parties and shit. So that was like, oh man, I got so many stories about that band. So many. That was like my first ever show I played in the Valley at a pub was in that band. And it was this place that, it's called Refos. And I think the security was the fucking bikies. Like a dude rocked up with a Harley and rode it into the foyer, sat it in the foyer and just sat on it.
You wouldn't fuck with it.
And it was all like, everyone at the show was our mates from school and stuff.
Yeah.
So everyone, or like people, like 50% of the crowd was at least 50% were under 18. Everyone drinking. It was like $5 jugs, just drunk teens everywhere.
The 2000s, man.
I can't do that these days.
Yeah,
Bloody ID
So what venue
scans
was
and
that?
everything.
What venue was that
It's
at?
not around anymore.
Where was
It
it?
was called Refo.
Did it become anything different?
Yeah, it turned into the Colombian, and then they ended up shutting it down because the people who live upstairs are like from that Buffalo weird fucking, you know that weird shit like Freemason.
Yeah.
Not that, like Buffalo hats and shit, like Fred Flintstone shit.
Yeah, right. There's too many noise complaints.
Yeah, and they just like ended up being like, we don't want to have like crazy drunk, noise after
Degenerate behavior, basically.
So they stopped having it. I think it's like a hotel now, like an actual hotel. But I don't know. The Valley is. Have you ever seen that show, The Deuce?
No.
No.
You're too young.
It's a good show. No, it's from like 2 years ago.
Well, we've all been in a weed coma since then.
Deuce years. Well, okay. Well then.
I'm too busy going to gigs.
Don't worry about that.
So, if your parents are so heavily religious, what do they sort of think of what you're doing for a career now?
I don't care.
They're not into the hell fuck yeah,
I
or
don't care. I don't really care. But, no, they're not like, they've never had a go at me.
Yeah.
No, ever. They've never had a go at me about it.
that's some good parenting.
So, I mean, I don't know what they think, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, but that's what you have to be like when you realize. I mean, otherwise you'll just have. I think you'll just have a toxic relationship with your
Yeah,
parents.
if you're just trying to meet up their expectations.
Like you have to stop caring because you know, like your parents still love you. And,
Yeah.
like if they have a problem, like you know, you don't have to stick up your ass.
Yeah.
So like.
Not most of the time.
And like,
anyway.
no, so if somebody's got to stick up their ass, they can't use that stick to hurt you. Yeah, it's actually hurting them. So you gotta realize.
No, I say that because like I remember watching.
Fuck you, Mum and Dad. Jesus loves you. I pray for you every day. Fuck you. Where are the prayers?
Remember the first time I ever saw BC post a video of him giving his mum a bong for Christmas, and I was just, and I remember thinking to myself, and I was like, I bet when these guys were like 19, they hated that they were in a band. And now she's just like, yeah, cool, whatever. And you see his parents go to the gigs. Like his dad got up and sculled a beer with him on stage at the other week.
He's very he's always involved his mum and dad in that stuff. They all do actually, all the Juniors guys.
I was his parents were there when they shot a music video at the Kookaburra Bowls Club just 2 weeks ago. And he's like, mum and his aunt were like, hey, to my mate, because we were talking to them, and they were like, is your mate gonna die of like alcohol poisoning? Because like I had so many Cooper's Greens that day, and like I was a mess in front of BC's mum, but she was so nice though. She was like, are you okay?
That's just a typical Quinton move though, isn't it?
She's seen it all.
Yeah, exactly.
She didn't have a choice.
I was like, she's probably seen BC in worse states before.
Yeah.
Yeah, BC's parents are lovely. He lives right. He's a totally different type of person to me, I guess. And like that. Just that example. Like I'm not that kind of person that. My parents don't want to fucking come up, and go on stage and all that kind of shit. So I'm not even gonna ask them.
Yeah.
But it's not that they don't. They're not interested in me or anything. It's just like they would just never do that.
Yeah.
So once again, it's the stick up the ass.
Alright, so first round of Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Jed.
Cards Against Jed. We'll have our official OnlyBands branded Cards Against Jed one day.
That's right.
Cards Against Jed. All right, so all right, this is a good one. So who's the next member of the 27 Club?
Well,
This is in reference to Quinton.
okay.
I didn't know he had his name on the colour.
Well, I've got nothing.
It does.
All right. All right. So who's the next member of the 27 Club? Some sort of Asian. All right. Who's the next member of the 27 Club? Betty Ray's. Who's the next member of the 27 Club? A bigger, blacker dick. Some sort of Asian.
Told you. Got to play the meta.
Wow.
Read the room, you know?
That's it. All right, you're up, yeah.
All right. Blank farted into a mic while plugging in their guitar. Who farted into the mic while plugging in their guitar? Who makes the most fart jokes in Soho?
Henry.
Henry? I can believe that. I don't know why, but I can believe it.
It's because he's a vegan, so farts.
Oh, yeah. I just did the plant-based thing for a month.
Yeah.
You're just farting non-stop.
Yeah,
Tofu? Gone. Right? I'm sorry to everyone involved.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Camp Coat farted into a mic while plugging in their guitar. The Bennies farted into a mic while plugging in their guitar. James Tisdwell farted into a mic while plugging in their guitar. I mean, he is the guitar. Like, it's got to be James. Is that yours?
Yeah.
It just makes
I'm
sense.
glad I got that one. That's a
You've
fun
got
one
it.
to have.
Alright.
Grab another card.
It's
Grab
two
yourself
story
a
Yeah,
white
so make
one.
sure you always pick up a white card.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you've always
pick it
got
up.
7
If
cards
you
in
missed
your
it.
hand.
Oh, sweet. How many do I have?
I don't know, about 7.
Okay, so blank didn't get recognised at their own show.
Well, this is definitely true. If I didn't,
I don't know if he even does shows,
really
but I'll
recently
allow.
found out what that
Alright,
was.
cool.
Grab another white card.
Oh yeah, so. Oh wait, no, because I've got 8. I've got 7.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
I guess.
Okay, so Ian Dickinson Dicko from Australian Idol, I assume, didn't get recognised at their own show. Cursor didn't get recognised at their own show. I reckon he won that rap battle against 360. Hilltop Hoods didn't get recognised at their own show.
If I was at a Hilltop Woods show, I wouldn't know who they were.
Neither would I.
Even though I met them before.
Yeah,
they
no,
just
really.
look like they look like
Look like normal
birdies.
blokes.
Yeah, I know. They just look.
they just
I
look
would
like
actually
dudes.
would have to say
They just
Hilltop
look like
Hoods.
all their fans.
Who? Okay, Hilltop. I would have to say Hilltop Hoods because
They do.
I can't recognise them. I think they'd just be random dudes on the street. Any 3 guys could just tell me they were Hilltop Hoods and
Yeah.
I believe them.
They're
Yeah,
nice dudes.
I still have
I've
that
met them
card.
before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, another one for Mikey.
Well, there we
Crush
go.
it.
Cool. All right, so now
Now
you
your
pick up a
turn.
black card.
Black card.
Okay, here we go, boys. What left this stain on my couch?
So who with the band, who does all the business sort of side of stuff?
Sorry, like, do you mean just anything to do
With like the business to the band, so like I mean you guys would have a manager obviously.
Yeah, we've got man. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Who handles what in the band?
Oh, did I miss one? I've only
I
got.
think Jed hasn't given you one yet.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
no,
still
cool.
hang on.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we've got our like guys. We've got our team on it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do too much of it in that sense.
Do you call them Team
Well,
Soho?
I mean, like, we do. Like, we pretty much run. I mean, like, in terms of like directing what we're doing, it's all we do that completely.
Yeah.
But we've got people that can, you know, it's like carry henceforth with my command onto you.
Yeah. You have people that can execute your big
That's what you pay
ideas.
for,
Yeah.
mate.
So you decide what you do and then you've just got to tell people that you tell what to do and then you get it done. Basically.
Yeah.
To put it simply.
Do it.
Just do it.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'll get closer to the mic. All right. So, answer for what left this stain on my couch? Chilling it,
I could believe that.
doing it up the bum.
That'd give a stain.
Women's suffrage. Wow. I'm gonna say doing it up the bum.
Yeah,
Because I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if like you get like little poop molecules
That's why that's
extracted
yeah.
from the anus during the doing
Yeah,
it.
that's why I mentioned stick up the ass before. It was one of the.
Okay.
All right. So blank were named after a street.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've got actually a sort of a fitting one.
So do I.
We're named after a street.
Yeah.
Or a
I'm
drive.
just gonna get rid of one of my.
Or a road. Something
Yeah,
like
we
that,
call them
what
your throwaways.
you're saying. Oh, for fuck's sake! All right, here we go. Parkway Drive were named after a street. Laneway Festival was named after a street. Blue Juice was named after a street.
That's a good street.
Well, look, I'm gonna have to say Parkway Drive because
They
it's
were named after.
it's definitely the car we had in mind when we thought
Yeah.
about it.
You know what was a fun...
Laneway Festival was named after the fact that it was a laneway.
Yeah.
That was.
But it was
me.
a
Not
show
the
in a
actual
laneway,
laneway,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact for me is the Winston McCall's sister was a student teacher at my high school when I was at school. That was pretty sick because she got us free tickets to the show, and that was my first ever gig. So I got trampled at a Parkway gig, and ever since then I was like, well, this is what I'm going to do with the rest of my life.
Yeah, nice.
And never looked back. It was really good. I saw Architects in the same night, which was pretty sick. And I think it was August Burns Red as well. So it was pretty
mega
fucking-
lineup
for a first gig.
Mm.
That wasn't the Wiggles. My parents couldn't stand the Wiggles. I come from ethnic background. They're like,
Oh, I'm the same. My parents were like, "Who the hell are the fucking Wiggles?"
hot potato.
Hot potato. What is this, Quinton? Why aren't you studying?
And I'm pretty sure I was at all of their shows when I was a kid.
Well, you got your crowd surfing start early, Jed.
That's it.
You did. Alrighty. Blank vomited on stage. DMA's vomited on stage. Eddie McGuire vomited on stage. And the Wiggles vomited on stage. Speaking of the Wiggles,
Oh wow.
I kind of want to give this to Eddie McGuire because, you know, he was on stage a lot, you know, if he
Yeah.
wants to be a millionaire. Imagine if he just, like, vomited on a contestant.
It would have been great.
That's, no, he was a millionaire, dude.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
That was...
Yeah.
uh,
You are the winner.
Who was Eddie
It wasn't
McGuire?
worth it.
Who had
Oh,
it?
that was me.
Ooh,
Fuck's sake.
crushing it.
Oh, wow.
Something
Sure
I've
you
actually
never played
always
this
wanted
before?
to know.
Yeah, I've just been in the game for a long time, my
Games.
brother.
Who
been making gags
conceptualized
for
the Soho
years.
logo? Because it's so bloody iconic. Who did that?
It was sort of a joint effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around
I remember
with
the
a
email,
joint
the
or-
email chain. No, I was in Japan at the time. I remember like writing the email. It was just like we kind of like thought of like what I mean. We knew who the artist would be, and so we sort of had the aesthetic taken from that, based on stuff that he'd done in the past, and then we kind of like drew influence from that, but sort of thought like how do we present it, and using like things that sort of like represent ideology of what we're sort of about, I guess, kind of like
Yeah.
so like the whole aesthetic with the skull and everything is like it's rad.
Obviously.
And then everything else, I don't need to really break it all down. But yeah. So we kind of like just picked it all out together, I guess. I don't think there's one person in particular.
Yeah.
Was there other options that you guys got to choose from? So you sent the ideas through to somebody and they came up with a few different options and that's the one you chose?
No,
No?
we just said what to do and he did it.
Oh, okay.
And then just smashed it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I've found
Yeah.
artists. Once they know what you're after, they nail it.
Yeah.
They're like, holy shit.
I think the directive was like, yeah, we're pretty across it. It was really simple. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a simple idea. And yeah.
I'll get it
I don't think
tattooed.
there was
at
many
some
drafts.
point.
There might have been one or two.
I've got a plan to get it tattooed. I just haven't figured out how. It's going to be a little different from
Or
the
just get
standard.
someone else to do it for you.
Well.
That's how.
I actually
It hurts a little bit.
Do I get a card for that?
sorry. So Splendor that I saw you guys at must have been 2016 or 17. I was really excited to see you guys because I think I'd only seen you once before and I missed most of the set. And I really wanted one of those Blazing Skull shirts, but I was just a piss poor kid that didn't have any money. So I remember just like going through my cupboard and finding a blank white T-shirt. And I remember just getting the picture up on my phone, and I'm not an artistic person whatsoever. Like, I struggle drawing stick figures. And I sat on the couch for 3.5 hours and I drew it. And it all looks almost perfect, except the weed leaf looks like one of its thing has like, it's like bulged out like this, and then the other one's like too long and all whack out like that. But the rest of it looks really like decent.
You did it.
I love to see it. You know? And like, that's really cool. Like, when it goes to show like,
done.
Like, it's cool to have a logo. Like, it's not something, I don't think we ever really thought about having a logo that represents us, but it's really cool to have that. Like,
I mean,
it says something about being like a band from the suburbs, I guess, that you have that. Like, and I don't know exactly what it is, because I don't know of any like inner city, like cosmopolitan type, like post rock collectives have these things, but like being from the suburbs, like, you know, like Blink-182 still make merch with that fucking rabbit.
The rabbit.
Yeah.
Like,
The
that's
rabbit and the
so
smile.
long ago, but they still put out new merch with it all the time, and it has this weird meaning to it.
It's how powerful brand is, you know. Like, you look at Nike. That tick, it symbolizes
It's
more than
definitely-
anything else we know of. It's basically when I look at brand, I think of it as religion. Right?
Yeah.
Brands become religion. You think about like a crucifix or a cross or whatever, like that's associated with that religion. So like a band's logo, wherever it is on someone.
Yeah, there's definitely that element to it. I think like it's like somewhere between that and sports. Like, you know, like I'm a big sports fan, and like it's the best part of the shirt is always the icon of the team, like that.
Yeah.
It's like coat of arms or some shit. So
Yeah.
yeah, which, you know, but like that's loving sports that way. It's religious. It's like, that's my religion.
It's what it becomes.
Yeah, back when I was still in school at Mansfield, like there's so many just blazing skulls like carved into like desks at Mansfield, and you'll still find them around today. Like Battle of the Bands, like Dope Calypso, covered in chrome, is like performed like poorly once every Battle of the Bands. Everyone has to fucking do it at some point.
That's sick.
I love
Actually,
that.
yeah, I've always wanted to ask you. Do you remember much from your first show with Soho?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we weren't even called Violent Soho. Our first show that we did was it would have been late 2003. It was in Maryborough, and it was a competition to get to open main stage on this festival. And we were called Showroom at the time. Which is a terrible name.
I'm glad it
I was about to say that.
Yeah, it's 2003.
Great.
So, I mean, like, I don't even know what songs we played, what they were. They were all originals. Yeah, I remember that really well. It was such a funny day. You know, it was real funny. We actually made like a bunch of like demo CDs, and we gave them out to all these kids in the town, and we just gave them away, and we just signed them. Everyone wanted it. So it's our first show, and we're just signing CDs. Like,
Setting yourself up for success.
Nah, what I'm
What if
thinking
it's
is
an
how much of those are worth?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I know.
are they out?
Yeah.
They'll be on eBay
They're
soon.
probably all in Maryborough.
Well, I mean,
It's like little
need to go check a few op shops there, I reckon.
Yeah.
trying to
'Cause
find
that
a
could be
photo.
some collectible stuff.
That'd be sick. Yeah, imagine just like finding one of those, and then
Yeah.
people wouldn't even know what they have.
We're like, what the hell is Showroom?
I bought which one? I bought Vacation Forever from the States, so I could get a unique version of it.
Oh wow.
It was one of the I think it was one of 100 or 200. Came with the placemat with the girls with the legs kind of doing stuff with
Yeah.
What do you mean that everything is A-OK?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking, because I don't know if we've done a pressing of Vacation Forever on vinyl.
No, it was Everything Is Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And it was a green and gold vinyl. That was why I actually wanted to grab it. It looks fucking sick. I'll grab it later. I'll show
Oh,
you.
yeah. Can we?
I don't know if I've
You haven't seen one?
I actually do, but they're all sealed.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I haven't opened any of them. So
I
I've
was
never
really
seen
tempted
them.
not to open it, but then I fucking didn't. I'm like, well, I wanted
Yeah, you
to.
want to
Yeah.
listen to
Hey,
it.
can we just talk about the irony of coronavirus happening and then everything is A-OK coming out into the world? Like I remember when that came, I didn't realize it until the end of this stream you guys did for the album, and then A-OK starts playing, and then it gets to the chorus, and I was like, wait a minute.
I was thinking you guys just changed the album title, like just right before release. Like, fuck it.
No, but no, it was pretty funny. The album was originally going to be called Pity Jar.
Oh, okay.
And
Like,
it had the same artwork concept, but we changed it to, which is just the name of one of the other songs. But it kind of like had a bit more of a darker connotation of being like, I guess like that's almost like apathetic when you
Yeah.
compare that to the experience of COVID, because like the photo of like a house and being like locked inside, almost like trapped inside, like it says a lot about lockdown.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's had a real fluid meaning because it's really shifted in like how it's resonated, and it's been really interesting to understand. I guess when it first came out, like people were pointing out the irony of it because everyone was so upset about the bushfires, and this is the last worst thing that happened before COVID. So everyone sort of pointed that element of what was going on out as like an ironic title. And then when COVID hit, it was really super duper ironic. But I think the meaning shifted as well to me. Like, I mean, it's a pretty open to interpretation artwork intentionally, because like really like a photo of a house and a flag at half mast, but of like Australia with like a Union Jack on it is gonna like resonate in some way. But it's also like quite banal, so it like it's really open to interpretation. And I don't know if like obviously we didn't know that lockdown was happening, but like to me like that idea of like being at home, but it's like a beautiful, safe, middle class, no real complaints, like sunny day, like what more could you want? Like and in a way that's like obviously like we should be happy with these things that we've got and satisfied, but also like being trapped is also still something that's undeniably frustrating and soul killing as well. So yeah, it's interesting to sort of think of, but that's like me, like that's me in my spare time.
Okay,
Do you run into
exactly.
those loops quite often where you kind of question, is this enough?
Yeah, I guess. And I mean, I think like it's because it's about the listener as well, and I think like a standard listener of Violent Soho is somebody who lives out in the suburbs in Australia, and so they're gonna understand what that feeling of like banal, but because it's almost like a benign depression, because like it's not really like nothing's life threatening.
Yeah.
Really,
it's very strange being an Australian because you're like, we've got it better than fucking rest of the world entirely, regardless of COVID or not.
Yeah.
We've got it so very good here, yet there's this really weird underclass that's kind of building in society where people are stuck on this hamster wheel where they're having to work that 5 days a week and something that's a little soul crushing. And then they pretty much, what do they do on the weekend? They go to a Violent Soho gig, get quite drunk, and then they do it again all the next week.
If beers and cigarettes weren't so expensive, we wouldn't have to work this much. Just saying.
Exactly. Okay, we do need to do another round of Cards Against Humanity. In Rome, there are whisperings that the Vatican has a secret room dedicated to.
Oh shit.
This is actually so relevant.
Alright. This one's pretty good.
I'm pretty happy with
Shuffle
mine as
these
well.
around just to make sure I don't know who is who. Here we go. Alright, so in Rome, there are whisperings of that the Vatican has a secret room devoted to the John Butler Trio. The Bright Side. Taking a man's eyes and balls out and putting his eyes where his balls go, and then his balls in the eye holes. Well, I guess it has to be this one because that's.
Is that you again?
Oh, he is absolutely crushing it tonight. He's
that's
not
an easy card.
He's not only a
free
champ.
win card.
He's
Yeah.
not only a champion drummer. He's also a champion Cards Against Humanity player.
He's a champion person against humanity, you know?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Why do you hate humanity so much?
Why are you guys gaslighting me into losing this game?
Because
I know what you're saying. I'm gonna get coffee. And then I'll let my guard down.
Well, that was our plan from the beginning.
Oh yeah. Right.
We're alive.
Okay.
Cards off.
Zah.
Zah.
Blank. High five, bro. Okay. Women in yogurt commercials. High five, bro. Walking in on dad, peeing into mum's mouth. High five, bro.
Daddy, no.
Wow. A sex comet from Neptune that plunges the Earth into eternal sexiness. High five, bro. Wow, man, that's hard because I like all of these answers, I have to say. Like, the toilet humor is very attractive, but I gotta say, like, I just like how this rolls off. sex comet from Neptune that plunges the Earth into eternal sexiness. High five, bro.
High five.
Yeah. How could you not love that? Is that you?
Yep.
Good on you. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Good win,
Put the
Yeah, just dump policy. Yeah.
Dump pile.
Sweet. Alright. Alright, so blank and blank created the supergroup blank. So
Blank
this is
and
it.
blank.
So we gotta have
3 cards.
3 cards.
So
Oh man. Pick up 2 cards if you don't have anything. It's
Yeah.
like this won't be good otherwise.
or we can just skip to a different card because I guess having 3 white cards in a thing is a bit
I got one.
No, alright. So the bottom one's the first one I read, the second one's the second one I read. Yep.
All right, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do this.
Alright, so is
Just-
the
I'll put
the
them there.
one on the top, the last one
It's
you
3.
read, or
The first
No,
one will be
it's-
the one on the bottom. That is red.
It's 3,
Yeah.
not 2.
Oh, it's 3.
It's blank,
Oh,
and blank
okay.
created the supergroup blank.
All right.
So put them separately. I'll turn around. You guys mark them around so I can't see.
I'm sure we've got this. It's fine.
yeah.
We're not
Alright.
cheaters here.
Alright. Okay. So a whole lot of woman and a kiss on the lips created the supergroup surprise sex. Alright.
It's a good super group.
Public ridicule and Triple J created the supergroup Tash Sultana.
That's good. That's
It's really not wrong.
Alright. Alright. Nerve and a big black dick created the supergroup An Endless Stream of Diarrhea. Tash Sultana, who had that?
That was me.
Yeah, that's good.
That was good. That was very good.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, Mikey, what's your favorite Soho song to play and like just to sing along with or listen to?
Yeah, I think it changes
Or currently?
a lot. Like, my favorite one to play is going to be the next song we put out.
Ooh.
Ooh, juicy. Alright, you heard it here first on the OnlyBands podcast.
Could you give us a little
Up close
drum action?
exclusive content on OnlyBands.
Exactly, I know.
No, I won't. Yeah, no, we've got a song coming out next month, so
We'll listen.
that's going to be my favorite one to play. But my current favorite one to play would be probably Evergreen.
Mhm.
We did that on Good Things, and that was just really ripping, lots of fun.
I remember that. That was.
Mm.
So that one really goes off live. It's got like just this cool like, and the guitars are just pumping. Like, so I love to like, yeah, live that song's kind of written for live.
Yeah.
Sing along to. I don't know, man. Like, I could just say Covered in Chrome, I guess. Like, it's a pretty
It's always
fucking
a
good
winner.
song. Yeah.
River State Security.
I always end up, like, singing our songs, like, in this stupid fucking, like, lame, camp, weird voice, almost, like... Because, like,
Can we
to
get a
me, I'm
demo?
always really interested in how Luke, with his certain style of singing, which is really, like, his own thing that he's created and then had to learn how to do it correctly so he doesn't, like, ruin his voice. So he's developed this whole singing style. But, like, he's so ingenuitively, like, melodic as a songwriter that you can take pretty much any of the songs and really, like, correctly sing it in this kind of, like, stage Broadway or, like, classic pop way. And it's, like, I was, like, singing, like, Viceroy recently because it's like, King of the Viceroy, King of the, yeah! Like, and it's kind of like showboaty or, like,
Yeah.
camp and strange, like, in that way. And, like, I always do that around Luke, especially just to get a reaction to it. Because, like, in hell, he's listening to it and then he goes, I can't believe it. It's so weird how you sing those songs like that. Like, I just, like...
Maybe you should
I
start,
just
That's
wanna
how me and the girlfriend sing the songs in the car.
Yeah,
like-
like...
maybe you should start your own Bong Soho
King
cover
of
band.
the Viceroy.
But you're the singer.
Yeah, like you guys should just do a show.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
swap
Yeah.
roles. That would be a show. What about you boys? What's your favorite song? Your favorite Soho song?
Probably How to Taste.
How to Taste?
Yeah, I love that song. It's mad bop, and on some like hip hop tracks in the background and try and rap the lyrics of How to Taste to it. And it's the only Soho song we could actually rap to anything, and it just works perfectly.
That's good.
For me, it's
Rap song.
for me, I think it's Blanket For sure.
Blanket.
Yeah.
I sit on either Dope Calypso or Son of Sam.
Cool.
Yeah. Old Cleveland Road just gets me.
Oh, yeah.
That line, I'm just like, I'm in Brisbane. It's where I grew up.
Yeah.
Old Cleveland Road.
Oh yeah,
I like all those songs. I'm lucky that I like the songs.
Couldn't imagine if you had to play songs you didn't like, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, but people do that.
yeah, I know, I could
Themselves
believe
do
it.
that shit.
yeah. Mark
And
Lanigan.
they think they want to do it.
Yeah.
Too. Like,
Yeah.
it's like
Ruby Fields hates "I Want," which is the song that made her famous, and
Yeah.
she hates it.
how old is she?
She's a
she's
little
just-
older than me, so she's like 23, I think.
She'll grow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She'll grow out of it.
Yeah.
She'll grow out of it.
Mark Lanigan from.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because if you have a popular song, like it's often a thing that I think artists go through where they're like, I hate that song because everyone's throwing it back at me all the
Radiohead
time.
Creep.
I think like at some point you just get to an emotional or like a self-conscious maturity and you actually just become like mute to that, and so. No, I would have thought that about Covered in Chrome, and now I'm like, nah, it's pretty much my favorite song because, like, why wouldn't it be? It's fucking the best one.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
So, like, you know, like,
Have you
it's a
seen,
classic.
the video on YouTube that someone put together of all the years in every single violin?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I think you sent me that.
Yeah, that was so
classic.
good.
Yeah, that was good.
You know what I'm gonna go for? Like,
It's like
Good
30,
for a
40
while.
minutes.
Yeah. Does it?
Yeah.
Pretty much its own album.
Yeah. Someone put together a compilation of all the like all the weird sounds that Stu from King Gizzard makes. All the yeah, and it literally goes on for an hour and a half throughout their entire
Wow, that
discography.
would
yeah,
actually
but then they
be-
release like 4 albums a year.
Yeah, exactly.
That would actually
Um,
be so
Yeah,
good.
as I was about to say before, Mark Lanigan, who fronted Screaming Trees, he hated that band the entire time he was in it. There was literally not a single song that he fucking liked until their breakout album, which was like an easy like 4 or 5 albums in. So yeah, exactly.
so
And yeah,
weird.
exactly. Screaming Trees were one of the most like underrated sort of like grunge sort of bands, and it turns out they hated each other and they hated the songs they were playing the entire fucking time.
Man, that is
Sounds like a
so
grunge band, though,
sad.
right?
That breaks my heart.
Oh.
Like, literally, like, that. I mean, imagine why? It only
Do
goes
you
for
chase
5
the-
minutes, alright?
Do you chase the money or do you chase the
it
passion?
goes for 4 minutes and 49 seconds.
Is this the yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that little eye, like, yeah.
Like a little dude.
He likes to say yeah.
Yeah.
Whose next cards are?
Quinton.
Quinton.
I just did mine.
Oh.
Alright.
Oh, okay,
you're
it's
up.
back on me again. Alright.
Oh, wait, no, it was
Oh,
me.
wait, wait, wait.
Oh,
I
No,
don't-
it was, yeah,
okay.
we've gone around the entire.
come on, yo.
Fucking
let's
settle
go.
down, man. What did I bring back from Bali? It wasn't a boogie board, but it could have been if you want. Oh, oh God, I'm going to read that one last. What did I bring back from Bali? Court-ordered rehab. Pretty appropriate. Insatiable bloodlust. Pretty appropriate
Yep.
again. What did I bring back from Bali? Boat people, half boat, half human. I think I'm going to go with the court-ordered rehab, actually.
That was me.
Yeah, that works.
That was a good one.
I haven't had court ordered rehab yet, but it's in my future, I'm sure. All right, so mine is some blank got banned from Crowbar for blank. So this is 2, and the one on the bottom would be the one I first.
Let's
read.
just pay respects to Crowbar. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Crowbar.
yeah, rest in peace, Crowbar.
Quick moment of silence.
Yep.
Anyway, here we go.
Yeah.
We miss you, Crowbar. Come
Yeah.
back soon.
They'll never die, man.
I was back at the Bright Side a couple of weeks ago, back when it became the Bright Side again. They've raffled off all the old Crowbar
Yeah, I
stuff,
saw
even the seats. The seats at the side where you used to be able to sit down,
Whoa.
they've been
Really?
raffled off. Yeah,
No.
they've been raffled off just to save Crowbar Sydney. Like it's the only thing Brightside got out of that move is just a nice black paint job, and that's it. They've raffled off everything. The walls are bare. Like they can't even keep the plants alive inside the beer garden. It's
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit sad.
Okay.
Music industry really,
Yeah.
really suffered through a true
Yeah.
depression.
Can I grab that black card again?
Hmm?
Just read it out again.
okay. Blank got banned from Crowbar for blank.
Pretty confident.
All right, so
I'm just like trying to like be like whatever.
So,
those guys-
chugging a lava lamp got banned from Crowbar for flying robots that kill people.
Oh, I was meant to be the other way around.
Oh, that was you.
Oh,
Okay.
we'll take it the other way around.
Okay. Shannon Noel got banned from Crowbar for a wall of death.
I would be in a wall of death for Nosey. Like, what about me?
Exactly.
Just
go.
Oh, okay. I assume it's actually meant to be the other way.
No,
It was. Oh yeah.
You know, it's me.
A pizza guy who fucked up got banned from Crowbar for Amy Shark.
It's a bit savage.
See, it sounds better that way.
Yeah, I'll say Shannon Noel in a wall of death because I need to be in a Shannon Noel pit sometime.
I've done it twice.
Oh man, Bad
Good time.
Neighbor was supposed to play with Shannon Noel.
Shannon Noel made to play with
Really?
Shannon Noel. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, that was meant to happen in August, I think, and it got cancelled.
Wow.
Oh, well.
That would have been a red hot summer tour.
Alright, yeah, but him.
I just love going to Shannon Noel gigs because like it's always so controversial.
Yeah, I know. I remember when someone threw that fucking beer can at him. He was
Yeah.
like, "Oh fuck you, miss and your mum!" Like just no hesitation, just immediately just goes off.
Yeah, and apparently you can't cancel Shannon Noel. Like we're stuck with him for
Yeah,
fucking ever.
We're stuck with him forever.
That's right.
Mind you, I do love singing "What About Me." It's my number one song
What
every
About
time
Me?
I go to
Yeah.
karaoke. It's the first song
What
I
About
open up
Me?
with.
Every time he's proved that cancel culture doesn't exist. Every time he tries to fight somebody in his audience and they put it on the internet, he gets more fans.
Just
Yeah.
more fans,
I
not
know.
less.
Right, so he needs to do that more.
He
Okay.
actually needs to become a consultant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? He can teach other people how to do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like he's just yelling at somebody in the audience to come up on the stage.
Dang.
So it's up to that person if they're gonna try and fight him. Like, you know, like he's,
Did you
he's
ever-
the artist. He's the tormented soul. Like he's.
Did you guys ever hear the single that he brought out? And I can't remember what it's called. But it starts with like, "I've got a brand new black ute."
Oh, yeah, that was
and then
his
it's
comeback
just, the
single.
chorus opens up with "No more second place. I'm back in the race."
I know. Oh, it was called Who I Am.
Yeah, who I am.
Who I Am. Oh my god. It was his comeback single as well. It was like, Jesus Christ. Man is self-aware.
Mate, if I came second without trying, I'd be way more impressed with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, next from J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Blank.
Alright.
How funny are you, really?
I'm not.
I wish I got that before.
Alright, oh, okay.
I've got a few good ones lined up. I'm just waiting for the right question.
Okay. Harry Potter and the Chamber of the Heart of a Child.
Yep.
Dark.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Big Day Out.
Oh, rip.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of A Bag of Magic Beans.
It's a bit depressing, this one.
I bought some Magic Beans
The
back in
Chamber of
We can
the
do
Heart
that.
of a Child is the darkest one. Like, yeah.
It's darker than Deathly
The
Hallows.
Chamber of the. I want to read that one. I'll read that one. His is this. That's the winner.
The heart?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I got
Where's
the
the
heart.
cut? There you go, mate. You didn't even back yourself.
Where have you-
Where'd I put the thing?
What have you done?
I don't know.
It's around. You holding?
Are you sure it's not one of these? No?
No, I had 4 there.
God, just pull the Houdini on us.
That's weird.
I didn't know you were a musician.
How about I just
Yeah.
grab a black card and we'll call it that one?
Yeah, just take one.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had. Oh wait, no. Wait, I've got. Oh, here it is.
I'll put it back then.
There you
It was up his sleeve the entire time.
Cool. J.K. Rowling's one of those people that got cancelled.
Yeah.
It's a bit controversial.
Yeah, she still makes millions of dollars.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Billions.
per day.
Yeah, I can't wait to be a writer.
Billions per year,
Yeah.
but millions per day.
Yeah.
Oh man,
You know, I can't wait to be a
Cancel
writer
must
one
be
day and like, you know, create a great series and then like retroactively fuck it up, you know, in hindsight. Like I wish I had
marketing,
the,
isn't it?
Yeah, I wish I had the fucking, you know, money and clout to do that.
Just gonna ruin everything that made me success.
That's how you make money in this day and age.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome to 2021, guys.
Yeah.
How about
Alright.
that Logan Paul fight today?
Oh,
Oh, wait.
gee,
Oh, man,
jeez.
I didn't see any of it.
I haven't seen
did
it
he just
yet.
get
No.
slapped?
oh, I haven't seen it.
Do you-
Oh, I know how it turns out.
I know how it turns out.
Yeah,
Do you
there
want
is
the
no
results?
arrows.
Are we gonna-
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, go on.
It's a draw.
There is no
There's
actual
no winner, no loser.
because it's an exhibition match. It wasn't even.
There was no
sanctioned, so,
knockout and there's no
Yeah.
judges, so
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no judges.
no judges.
It was just a
exhibition.
show match, like Rocky versus Thunder
Well,
Lips and
so
Rocky
were
3.
people putting money on it?
You could have
Yeah.
put money on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's rigged as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
exactly.
So many people.
That's
like,
so rigged.
I saw them
Yeah,
paying
you
out
heard it
$4.
first.
It was
Yeah.
like it was $4 to the dollar if Mayweather won in the first 4 rounds.
Well, I mean, like, it's totally stupid because there's no way Mayweather's not going to beat this guy.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is as well
Totally
though,
stupid.
if you think
I don't even
like
see it. I know that he would beat
retrospectively,
him, like, it's
right?
just like, I'm not that dumb.
Look at Floyd's career. He's never knocked out anyone, so he was never going to get a knockout. It's an exhibition. There was never going to be a winner.
Yeah, because he wins by not losing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
So if he doesn't actively win, then it's going to be a draw.
To me, it was like it just feels like it's diminishing boxing, and boxing's already been having a hard time competing with like
So
MMA.
does that fuck with Floyd's record?
Nah, because it's exhibition. It's not even at all. Because he's 49-0. Like
He's 50 in it.
50?
Yeah, 50 was the Conor McGregor. That
Oh
was the
shit!
50.
Yeah. Okay.
I did see that. What was the blonde fella? What's his name?
Logan.
Logan Paul. Yeah, he walked out with a
Charizard.
Yeah, the Charizard Pokemon card on a chain around his neck worth $150 million.
No, $150,000.
$150,000. Sorry.
150.
You have a
No one cares
Charizard?
about that Pokemon
I
that
did. I
much.
don't have any more. I probably gave it to the op shop.
Could have
That
retired.
could have been worth good money, Mikey. You could have used that to
Yeah, if
fund
you
the next
have an
album.
A10 Charizard, $150,000 straight
What a
up.
dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you live in
100%.
your
Like,
life.
because I've collected Pokemon cards when they originally came out.
Yeah, you would have had a
And
first.
I mean,
year.
that's like the only time I did, because then from then on I was in like high school. I
Yeah.
just stopped doing
It was obviously about you.
I was like just
Yeah.
a tween. Yeah, I was just in my late tweens when Pokemon, so I was like just old
Yeah.
enough to get into it at the start. So yeah.
If only you
100%.
kept those bastards.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you imagine if like your Pokemon collection was worth more than all the money you made with Soho? Like, how
Yeah,
shit
you
would
would
feel?
have been set for life.
Yeah.
What's your backup plan? I got a big pile of Pokemon cards.
Cards.
at home.
Sell 'em.
Yeah.
I've got a really morbid obsession with Beyblades. I've told my girlfriend to buy me some spinning tops for my birthday this year.
Beyblade. Oh, I remember, like, people used to bring them to school back when I was in primary
Yeah.
school.
I
Like,
love them.
everyone thought they were, like, fucking top shit.
They're just spinning
The fucking
tops. I
big-
love
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
I'm
I
basically
was,
3.
I was too old for that.
It was
It's
the
unfortunate.
kids whose parents had a lot of money that they come to
Yeah.
school with the arena.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Because
We
I
just
was
wrestled on bin
Mikey,
lids.
I was
Yeah.
in year 1
Oh,
when
wrestled.
Spiral started
Yeah.
the band.
Oh, right.
Yeah, 2000, like around 2003, 2004. I was in year 1, and you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
were already a band by then.
Yeah,
All right. So next card's cards.
Some Charizard cards.
So Blank got too high and forgot their set list. All right. A giant powdery man boy got too high and forgot their set list. The Smith Street Band got too high and forgot their set list. Nikki Webster got too high and forgot Nikki Webster.
Yeah, that was me.
Straight up.
It's gonna
Yeah. Oh, I missed those strawberry kisses.
Wait, another one of my karaoke songs.
It would be too. We're actually planning to go to karaoke next week. You should come.
I'm done. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right,
better have
do
this last
do strawberry
There's a
kisses.
new place in Garden City. It's BYO as well.
Oh wow!
Can hold up to
Do you wanna come?
26 people.
Yeah, when are you guys
Mikey,
going?
Next week,
Yeah, let me
Friday
know.
or Saturday.
Yeah.
was Garden City like a thing back when you were in?
Oh,
high school?
yeah.
Yeah, because I remember.
Garbo.
Yeah, when I went to
Yeah,
Mansfield,
yeah.
every afternoon after school, people would just go to Garden City and loiter and just piss off the teachers who'd be there counting their groceries and they'd see a bunch of us, causing a ruckus. Like, one time, Joseph Shark was rolling up a fucking blunt in the food court. It was fucking nuts. But yeah, so did you go to fucking Garden City after
I
school?
spent hours
Yeah.
loitering around there.
Yeah.
Like countless hours. I feel like, it's funny going back. Yeah, I feel like I still own the place.
It's crazy
Yeah,
how different
definitely.
it
Like
is
movie
now.
marathons there. were
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, yep. Those were good school holidays.
Mm.
Because I remember James and Luke did this thing after just a radio interview for Double J one year after Laneway, and James was going on about how he used to like rack shit from Garden City from Carindale all the time from the JB Hi-Fi.
Oh, yeah.
And like back then, like
Yeah.
because like Carindale's where I live, I've known that like more for ages, but apparently it was new when he started to rack shit from the
he
JB
would
Hi-Fi.
like
there.
rack the lyrics sheets and then like have the burnt CD and he just wanted the song book so then it would look like he actually had it.
So James is the reason why the security at JB Hi-Fi is so tight.
Yeah. James was like the
yeah, exactly.
5,000% sure he was like the high school hide and seek champion one year because he had like fucking something like he used up all his sick days at school one year, and if he took another sick day he wouldn't have been in year 9 enough to actually graduate to year 10. And I was like, wow, I took a lot of sick days back in the fucking day, but I don't think I've been like literally the school hide and seek champion.
It's the weirdest thing because like he actually lived like right near school.
Yeah.
He could
That
have-
was always the
if he'd
kid.
gone to,
Yeah.
if he'd gone to school more, he would have been smart enough to realize that all he had to do was show up in the morning.
and leave afterwards. No, exactly.
But because of his lack of education, he didn't have the grey matter to do it that way.
Yeah, but he did get a cab driver to drive him to Carindale, apparently. He bailed on Sports Day once. Him and his mates
Yeah.
dived into a cab, went to Carindale, and racked some shit from JB Hi-Fi. Well, at least that's how the story goes. I don't know.
Sounds
Maybe.
about right.
maybe-
Probably would have been Sanity. I don't know if JB
Yeah.
Hi-Fi was around back then.
Oof.
Sanity didn't work that.
How are
good
they
with
still in
security.
business?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Aaron Gox is a series where he goes to regional towns. And there's a Sanity.
Yeah.
When I went to Rockhampton with pandemic, there's a Sanity there. There's a Wendy's there as well. Like,
There's a few Wendy's in Brizzy.
Yeah, there's still Sanity and Taree where I grew
Wendy's.
up.
Is that a CD chain?
no, not
No.
Wendy's.
Well, like
The
donuts.
burger
No, I was
Not-
thinking donuts when you said
Yum.
The
Wendy's.
donuts, yeah, the
Yeah.
donuts place, yeah. Because the one at
Okay,
Carindale
that's
closed down. The one at Gardens
There's
City
one
closed down
in,
ages
I
ago.
think, in Nala. I've been there not too long ago, maybe a year ago, and there's still a Wendy's there.
There's
Yeah,
still
but
a
nobody
Wendy's.
goes to
parents
Nala.
used to own like.
I go to
Wendy's,
Nala.
and He'd bring all the
You get
leftover
good food in
donuts to
Nala.
school.
Yeah, that's
Don't
sick.
diss Nala. I used to teach at the Islamic school. I used to be a high school teacher.
Oh, I used to be a tutor.
You taught at the Islamic school.
I did.
Oh, what a
Wow.
Yeah, it was a fucking trip.
It's like it's. I'm not the type. My parents are both teachers.
Oh, really?
I'm not the type of person that could do. I mean, I love teaching, but in terms of like school teacher, my mum's a school teacher. My dad's not. But yeah, they're a certain type of person.
They definitely are.
Right.
And I just kind of got pushed into it a little from
Yeah.
family. Like, it's like, oh, it's a great idea. Because it only took me a year to do the diploma
Yeah.
for it after I finished my Bachelor of IT.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, cool. I can become a teacher. I come out of uni straight into a $62,000 a year job.
Mhm.
Can't really complain.
Mhm.
And then I lasted about 8 months.
I had this maths teacher who got fired and he quit being a teacher. He was so bad. He was just such a bad teacher. Not a bad guy, but like, man, he really it's like, if you don't want to be there and you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a pain in the ass job.
Yeah,
It's not cruisy. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like all the interpersonal stuff with the students.
Man, I found the
Right.
students a lot easier to deal with than the actual faculty.
Yeah.
It's the
right.
faculty because there's so much internal politics.
Yeah.
And they're all older than you. They've all got like, oh, I've been here for 30 years. I think I know how to teach
Yeah,
IT.
yeah,
And you're like, bro, you're teaching things from the 2000s. I'm trying to teach kids that are
Yeah.
doing things now.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you just butt heads. And then
Yeah.
because they have seniority over you.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't correct me in front of my students. That's what happened to me. And
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? Like, the kids were going home with the wrong info.
Yeah.
So-
Frenchie, the comedian, he used to be a teacher, and like he
Yeah.
lasted about 2-3 years in the
Frenchie, fat pizza dude.
job. No,
The guy from Sydney.
the guy from
Wollongong.
Wollongong, yeah. But yeah, he used to be a teacher,
Oh,
and he
yeah, yeah.
he tried to make it as cruisy as possible. Even then, he couldn't last. Like I'm a tutor now, and like my students ask me like, "What did you do on the weekend, Quinton?" I'm like, "Oh yes, nothing. Now do your math, please."
Yeah, I remember in high school, my math teacher used to always smell like wine. And
Yeah.
every time we do something like a little bit rude, because like me and my mates would always sit like at the tables that wrapped around his desk, but we were always the first kids to finish any like sheets that he gave us. But we were always the ones causing the most trouble because we used to just like when we were 15, shit like that. When planking was a thing, we'd finish our thing and to celebrate, we'd just plank over his desk while he was sitting there. And then he'd like kick us out, and we'd get like thrown out into the hall, and we'd all be out there. So we're just like, yeah, let's fucking play.
Like, whose turn is it for Cards Against Humanity?
Yo's. No.
Yours.
Yeah.
No, I just did mine.
I think it's Mikey then.
No, Mikey did his as well as yours.
Yeah.
did.
No. You just do it?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
okay,
sure-
Yeah, I
so
did
yours
that one
then.
and 3.
You're next.
I swear I did one.
What was your one?
I don't know.
No, we
Okay,
just did the
I think yours will be the last.
three.
All right.
Yeah.
Blank was getting drunk outside when they won an award.
This wasn't aimed at anybody.
Haha. Oh, that happened to us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
The R is what a good one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
man, I've got to just use this one because it's been sitting there the whole time and it's
Gotta be
funny. It doesn't make any sense.
All right.
So something
June
to
Rats
say.
was getting drunk outside when they won an award.
That
I mean,
sounds perfect.
it's pretty accurate. Making the penises kiss
June
was
Rats will
getting
never win an
drunk.
award. Sorry.
Yeah, no, if they'd won best rock album for the RF for Kids Will Know It's bullshit. It would have
Most
just
weeks smoke in
destroyed
a
the
day.
fucking music industry.
If June
You
Rats
gotta
won
play
an
more
award,
than four
I'd be
chords,
like,
right? Like, more than
what
3
did
chords,
you
really.
cunts do? How
They-
did you get that?
They definitely win an award for the most weed smoked in a music video.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Probably,
they-
actually. Oh, I don't know. We got to watch a rapper or two, you know? Like,
Yeah,
we
I
could
know.
probably find a few blunts going. But anyway,
Yeah.
in one consecutive shot.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh.
Mikey's best mates.
I reckon I could do it. How much back was in red light, green light, you know? Were they straight?
Oh, I actually don't know, but I mean, it probably wouldn't matter.
The
Seeing
smoke
as he
was
smoked like 50 cones.
Yeah.
I think I counted. I think it's like 32.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's still
Yeah, it's pretty
legendary.
brutal. Yeah.
Nicolas Cage was getting drunk outside when they won an award. I mean, probably his career went to shit. It's really sad. I love Nick Cage. Quick, favorite Nick Cage movie?
I can't.
I don't know.
If you're not saying Face
Leaving
Off,
Las
you're wrong.
Vegas.
No, The Color Out of Space. He starred in a H.P. Lovecraft adaptation.
I can't say I've watched many of them, hey.
Oh man, Face Off
Really?
is so good. He
I've
swaps
seen Face
faces
Off.
with John Travolta. Like,
Yeah,
it's so
yeah, that's
funny.
funny.
I haven't watched a Nick
They
Cage
both
movie
have the
since I was
same
like
kind of
12.
like seedy, like they're both kind of seedy. So like when they switch a route, it's like now I'm being a disgusting seedy motherfucker. Now I am like you guys both are great at that same thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Leaving Las Vegas? It's
That rings a bell.
this guy who's basically you don't really find out his backstory, but his like wife has left him or something, and he's gonna drink himself to death. It's just the story of this guy, and he just parties in Las Vegas,
Sounds like a good movie.
drinking nonstop until he dies.
Yeah.
Basically. That's
Tragic.
what it's- Yeah. Yeah. He won an Oscar for that actually.
Oh wow! I remember
Yeah.
watching The Weatherman was one that he did that I really liked. That was a good one.
I haven't seen
He was a bit of a just depressive dad and just kind of very routine, and he was a weatherman.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that was a good one. But I'm gonna give it to Dune Rats because, well,
Yo.
actually, no. Or like
You
Nick Cage, Nick Cage would win an award.
Yeah, he has. He won an
Like
Oscar.
he
See?
won an Oscar. Like
I'm not going to influence the decisions.
Nick Cage is obviously yours.
No, mine's the penises.
Oh.
Nick Cage is me.
I'm gonna have to. I'm giving it to the Junies. The Junies can win an award. Maybe best music video or something. Right?
Yeah.
Well,
if
I
every-
could win that.
If everyone pretends that the June Rats win an award, then maybe
Yeah,
they
They
will.
could, yeah.
I could give him an award through fact. Like
I just
Yeah,
have to
there you
roast the June
Yeah,
Rats,
it's-
mate. I have to.
it just has to be done.
And they'd probably still be outside getting too fucked up and
All right,
completely
let's
miss it.
count up our black cards.
I got 4.
I got 3.
I've got 4.
Oh, we have a
Oh.
face-off. We have a
Alright.
face-off. What do we
So,
do?
What do you
alright.
do if there's a
No,
tie?
this- so-
An actual fight?
Dump all your white cards, pick up
Oh,
7 new ones.
I'll book it.
All right.
Okay, yeah. I think Mikey's winning though. Then again, I could probably go to the Shaolin Temple and train for a bit.
Yeah,
You can dump your white cards.
You've
pick up
got
7
3
new
months.
Yeah.
ones, whatever.
You've
Alright.
got
Actually-
that mystical Asian. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I've-
martial arts power, obviously.
This is going to be a good one. But just for this round, I'm going to let you, if you don't have a card that fits, you can pick up. So you can dump your deck
Nah, I
twice.
reckon they just blurt out the answer.
Oh, all
But you
right.
have
alright.
just a second to do it.
Well,
Alright.
it has to be from. Okay, but
And
Okay.
whoever we find funniest, and we'll rate it together.
All right, I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to count down from 3.
Oh, okay,
And then
just
you're
give us
both
a-
going to
yeah.
say...
You don't have to use a card, but you can.
Yeah, you don't need
Yeah.
to use the card, but you can use them for influence. You can say whatever the fuck you want,
Alright, cool.
right? And then me and
We're gonna
Joseph
use the
will
card.
choose who wins. All right, so I'll say the card,
Yeah.
count down from 3, and both at the same time into your microphone.
Yeah.
sorry.
All right.
Get high.
So, blank got naked on stage.
Violent Soho.
Ruby Fields.
It says violent.
Violent Soho.
Violent Soho.
You've just
Violent
discovered that Jed
Soho.
can't spell.
Oh, that's my answer. I had it.
Mike has got to win it.
Yeah, he's got to win.
He's got to win it. He's the
Yeah.
guest.
Yeah.
I can't. Yes.
Maybe a slightly okay. What's the most hostile crowd you've ever played to?
Hostile crowd. We played this show once in. We played. I can't remember ever being like properly abused. So as in like hostile towards us, probably I can't think of one, but I remember this one time we played a show just in like it would have been in like Rochester or somewhere in New York State, upper New York State, and it was just like It's like, you know how rednecks are supposed to come from like the south? There's rednecks in the north.
Oh, they're from Appalachia. They'll come over to New York State.
100%. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was around that region. And it was just like the most shirtless meatheads pumping, and it was like, are these guys circle pits? And you look at the circle pits, you're like, these guys are fighting each other. Like, they're like fighting each other. Like, they're like just beating the shit out of each other. They're not like to mosh. They're like moshing by actually kicking each other's, punching each other's faces.
Just like opening up a ring instead of a circle pit.
It was like a fight. Like it was like
actually an organized
there's a
fight.
swarm of
that
like
night at the same
shirtless
time.
dudes fighting each other.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
just how they
absolutely
cover it up for
amazing.
like. So they don't
I
get
couldn't
arrested.
believe
Yeah.
it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So I mean, they were hostile towards
Yeah.
each other. They wouldn't have been. I don't think they cared.
Yeah.
What music it was.
I remember Shaka Fest, the first one ever where the Junies played. The whole day, this was down Gold Coast at Miami.
Oh, I've been to the
car
was
park.
at the latter two, but I never went to the first one.
The first one, man, it was like all pavement there in the car park.
Oh,
And it was a
like that in the
chill
second
day,
one.
right? Like there was not really any punk bands. The closest thing was like White Blanks. There was no energy like let out, and everyone had been drinking all day. And then the Junies are about to come on, and do you know what they like put as their opening track? Killing in the Name of.
You just had
remember that? I was there.
before
Yeah, wow.
the show.
Killing in the Name of, and man, the crowd it just started out like, cool, this is going to be fun, and we're starting to push, and then it got brutal. People started pushing chicks, like just slam, like there was like, I saw 2 broken arms, I saw at least 3 bloody noses. My partner's friend was one of them. Partner's girlfriend was one of them. Ex-partner's brother. Anyway, fucking doesn't matter. But like completely destroyed, and the Junies hadn't even come on. And then the Juniors came on, and we're like, we just got out of the pit. It was literally just like gravel. It was just so savage.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that was really poor timing on everyone's behalf.
Was that the year the Grinspoon headline?
No, that was the
this
second
is
one. I
Juniors.
was at that one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Juniors were the headline.
Yeah, no, I thought, okay, yeah.
That
So I
was
went to the
first
one that
shop of it.
Grinspoon was
Yeah,
at.
I was at that one
And
too.
I remember crowd surfing through Grinspoon, and the security grabbed me by the leg and dragged me over the barrier, cut my wristband off, and before I could say anything, threw me out the gates. But because there's a pub next door and their smoking area just backs out to one where the mosh pit
Yeah.
was, I just went out, jumped up on the chairs, climbed onto the roof, and just dived back into the crowd. I had 2 cops and 2 security chasing me through the mosh pit. I'm so cooked. I'm just sprinting through everybody. I ran up behind the bleachers, like underneath where they had those electric scooters.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember that. Fuck.
And I just sit there for like 5 minutes, and like as soon as like everything calmed down a little bit, I was like, yes, Grinspoon, fuck yeah! That was the first time I'd ever seen Grinspoon. I was so excited.
I nearly got kicked out of Shaka Fest. Earlier in the day, there wasn't much of a pit. I decided, like, fuck it, I'll light up a joint. So I light up a joint, and I'm sharing it around, and one other dude lights up a joint and sharing it around. And I just start seeing security start coming out, and I just kind of walked off. And I walked off, and they escorted that dude out.
I know
holding
you.
both joints.
Should have just swallowed them.
I love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of playing overseas, have you ever had a big culture shock sort of moment while you've been touring overseas and you find they do something completely different like over there than they do over here?
Nah.
No?
No, but I mean, yeah, like I don't know if it's how my brain works or anything, but I'm not very like susceptible. I'm pretty adaptive. Like I don't really get thrown off by stuff like that.
Oh,
I
okay.
guess. Yeah, so yeah, I don't really pay attention to shit like that. Rock and roll is like a global language too. So I think like it's almost. I mean, like you could be in America. Every state is a different country culturally, but when it comes to playing the show, it's just a bar with fucking Coors or Budweiser or both, and a bunch of Americans. There's someone's bringing a joint. Some, you know what I mean? Like it's the same thing every night. And
Apart some nights where they just start fighting.
Yeah.
well, yeah, that was during the day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you got to wake up early. for the fight.
Appalachia rednecks at a different level.
It was because all the names were Josh. You see.
What was a country you most enjoyed playing in that you didn't maybe even expect to be playing in?
Probably like Singapore, I'd say, because you don't really see it coming when those opportunities come up. It's kind of like that place that's on the way to places, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean. It's such an awesome city. People there are so wholesome and nice and
Politest
like
city
up
in the
for
world.
fun and
Yeah.
like yeah. I think just such lovely, nice fans and yeah. I just it's in terms of like not expecting it because yeah. That's why I'd say that place. But in terms of like overseas touring, like we've done a lot of America, and we've played a lot of like small towns. So there's this one town called Lawrence in Kansas, which is a fairly small like university town. They've got a big uni. And, you know, places like that, that's the first one that comes to mind. But there's plenty of like small places in America, like college towns that you wouldn't hear from watching movies or whatever. But they've just got this like little cultural hubs of like cool, enthusiastic vibes. And because it's youth culture, and they'll have the best like, you know, secondhand record stores and op shops and burger joints and stuff that's for young people to enjoy that's cheap. So if you're a musician, then those towns are just like the lifeblood of the culture.
Did you ever do South by Southwest back in the day?
Yeah, we did. We've played that once, 2010, so ages ago now.
Do you ever wonder, or like, does it ever linger in the band's mind why you guys didn't break out as much in the US as you did here? Obviously, culturally it makes sense, but...
Yeah, I mean, we've had like opportunities. We were on a major label in the States.
Ecstatic Beast.
So that was through Motown. So that was really weird, actually. So that was basically Universal. So like Universal owned Motown, and Motown owned Ecstatic Beast. So it was like flows through like that. But that's often what you find with like imprints. They're not really labels. They're imprints. They've just got like a section of the office and like that's dedicated to like their artists, and so you've got like an A&R. It's more like an A&R department than an actual label, but like in the way that I would think about it anyway. But So I mean, I can see why, but I can also I think we haven't really, when it came to the point where we were like actually having success at all. We'd already done so much overseas touring that like what we realized we needed in order to really push, we weren't willing to make the same sacrifices necessarily. We were more interested in like settling into something that was substantial, that, you know, because every time you go overseas to do a live run, when you're trying to break into a market, it's such an investment. So we were at that point in our lives where we were like, oh, it might make sense to just like take some of that money and pay the rent.
Yeah.
Like, so for what we do, in order to break through anywhere, you need to tour the shit out of that region. And we'd already done so much that we were just, not really, you know, like it's, I think for what we do, the live show really sells it.
Yeah.
100%.
More than most bands even.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can do whatever by people hearing the songs, but the live aspect needs to.
What I've always told people. It's like, don't count on the album to give you the song.
Yeah, it's all.
Yeah, that's the thing with like, and that's with this current album. We haven't had the opportunity yet to really show what these songs translate to as a live experience.
Yeah.
And so that angst is still kind of looming. So we'll do that eventually. Yeah. A national tour for that album is going to happen at some point. But in the meanwhile, we're just trying to think of ways to do live stuff that can just carry us through until everyone's vaccinated, and the risk of lockdowns becomes.
Let's not talk about vaccinations, because that gets.
Well, like, you know what? Most people will get vaccinated regardless, so you know that's all.
It'll hopefully happen.
You'll get your herd immunity.
People don't want to if people don't want to vaccinate, I don't really give a fuck. Most of you will, so it's fine.
Mikey, is there ever a band who's opened for you that you didn't really know much about them before they opened for you, but they ended up like really impressing?
Oh yeah, heaps of times. Like countless times.
I know, maybe an Australian one that we sort of know who have I guess gone on to do bigger things.
Gone on to do bigger things.
Yeah.
I'll never forget Wax at the Mansfield
Tavern. Oh yeah, Wax.
Yeah, I guess so. That's a good choice. So I think I wasn't really surprised to see them go on and get big, because they had that talent and you could see that was coming. To me anyway, because usually I've got an idea of what's going on in the background. So if this band's about to take off, I'll probably have an idea of it, or if they're not, I probably will too. So it's not normally surprising when it does happen. So, but I mean, I don't. My favorite bands are usually not big, so I don't know.
Actually, have you ever met one of your like influencers or like heroes before? And like, how did it go?
Oh yeah,
Usually-
heaps of times.
So they usually say, don't meet your heroes.
Oh,
But,
I've met so many of my heroes. Meeting Thurston Moore was probably one of the most big ones in terms of like at the time, and I'd say still to this day, but I'm obsessed with Sonic Youth at the time. And when we met Thurston, it was basically like at this restaurant. It was like this big long table, and I ended up being the person sat with him. And so we sat at this restaurant for like 2 hours, and I just had this almost virtually one-on-one conversation with him, just mostly about like black metal. Okay, and he was just starting a black metal band, and I was just obsessed with black metal. Like at the time, I was like Sonic Youth and black metal was all I was listening to. So it was like this brilliant fucking chat, and it was really cool because like to have that sort of like peer moment with a hero, where you just had this chill conversation, and we spoke the same language, was really 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 cool, and yeah, well I think I got food poisoning that night from that meal.
It was just too intense for you.
Dysentery for like 3 days after.
You're so happy you shit yourself.
For 3 days.
Yeah.
Do you have any like? Do you have any bands that you have like on your bucket list that you haven't seen that you really need to see before you die or before they break up?
or if you want, or that you want to play with.
No.
Seen everybody you want to see?
No, I mean I don't remember anymore.
Just appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I've seen so many bands, and I don't remember the ones I haven't that I need to. And you know what? I've come to realize that being nostalgic for a band that I love, like it might be the wrong time to see them. Like the biggest realization of that for me was when I went and saw The Doors with a dude who was like a Jim Morrison impersonator. I was like, this is like a sin.
It's not okay.
Yeah.
Like so. No, but I mean, I have seen a lot of my favorite bands. So,
Where do you?
and
Sorry, you can.
no, like sorry.
No. I was just going to ask, where do you sit on the Blink train? I know James is huge.
I love Blink-182.
You love Blink.
Yeah.
How do you feel about new Blink with Skiba?
I won't even refuse to listen to it.
Really?
It's terrible.
Terrible?
It's terrible.
It's pretty bad.
It's
I'll agree with that.
I mean,
California
I've heard-
was terrible. 9 wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I heard that whole album. I thought there was 1 or 2 decent moments on it, but I mean, the last one. I mean, it's no.
Nah.
No, but I mean, like they play. You know what I found is really cool. Like they've reinvented how they're playing some of the older songs live, and that's really interesting because the guitaring is different, and the rhythm patterns have shifted because of how Matt Skiba plays guitar.
Yeah,
and I think Travis has taken advantage of that and actually shifted some of the little like ghost notes around on the drums. And so for me, like as a big fan of Travis Barker, like the way that he's sort of reassessed how he's playing everything to fit in with Matt Skiba's rhythm guitar is interesting.
I'm a big Matt Skiba fan. Like Alkaline's.
Oh, Alkaline Trio is a great band. And like it's nothing on Matt Skiba. I wouldn't like blame him for any of it. Like,
for me, it's heartbreaking because no one I know personally has the same love for Alkaline Trio as I do. Like barely anyone even knows who they are.
Yeah, right.
And it's
they used to be huge,
but not in Australia. Like
they were back in
like
I think
15
it just
missed
ago.
My generation. Hey?
Yeah. When I was in uni, they were big.
Yeah, I'm such an Alkaline fan. Like if I'm feeling down, I just put them on shuffle. It doesn't matter where I'm at. And they released Past Live recently. Did you see that? Where they recorded all of their old albums live in over 2 nights.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it's actually
cool.
You can get it all on Blu-ray as well, so you can watch the show.
Yeah.
But all of the albums are now on Spotify, so I've just been listening to that.
Oh, cool.
It's fucking awesome.
We'll end with this last one. All of us are gonna say a band that we've been wanting to listen to more, and we'd like to let our viewers or listeners know about basically. So we'll give Mikey the honors
Who are
here.
you listening to,
Yeah,
Mikey?
is there a band you want to?
If there's any band I could shout out in Australia right now, it'd be Rat Hammock.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of them.
Oh,
Really?
You haven't?
Dude,
Wow.
Okay.
They're amazing.
Tremendously. Like it's like bringing for me like the style is bringing back a certain type of Australian indie pop that was almost like a dead genre that they've brought back and breathed more like relevance and life into. It comes from the same place that for me like Something for Kate was, and that
I was listening to
scene,
something
that
for Kate
Sydney
today,
scene
actually.
in the 90s really was.
It's all really
Yeah.
catchy sing-along tunes
Yeah.
as well. Like
Jebediah is something I've been playing a
Yeah,
lot of.
similar sort of
Yeah.
place that Jebediah was coming
That's
from as
cool.
well. Like, yeah, Aussie indie
How
pop.
good is Australian music though?
right?
Yeah.
Fucking when I
Cheers.
when I was in high school, right? When I was in high school, I was all about metalcore and US bands and shit. And then suddenly I like just started hearing this Aussie shit, and I'm like, this is really good. Like what? And then it's like all I want to listen to now.
Yeah,
predominantly.
All I ever used to listen to was like Meatloaf and Bon Jovi. Then somebody dragged me to Big Day Out in 2013. And all of a sudden, I was like, "What is this shit?" I've just been going to every festival I possibly can since.
Jed has gone to a lot of gigs. Pre-COVID, we were hitting about probably 30 gigs each a year, and now we're going to what?
No,
You're going
probably like 80.
60, yeah.
Oh, I was hitting easily 40.
You guys are like better than me.
I was doing
I thought I was
doing
good
at
with
least
like
2 or 3 a
30,
week.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jed, who
Yeah.
have you been listening to lately? Who do you want to plug?
I've been listening to a lot of Columbus lately. I saw them play with Sly Withers a few weeks ago. Like the song Daffodil just resonated with me a lot. It's a beautiful song. But all day today, I've just been binging Betty Ray's because I was very upset I didn't get to go see them at the Tivoli.
No, they were playing at the Triffid.
It was the Triffid shit.
Oh, it was the Triffid. But they were just a couple of
Looked
weeks
like
ago.
it was the Tiff. That's how
No,
many people
they
would-
were
Yeah.
they were playing.
I love
Really
Betty Ray's. The
good
boys
show.
from those guys are amazing. They have such good songs, and I don't think they've written a bad song.
Yeah, they're really good.
Joseph?
Lately, this is not Australian. I'm not gonna subside to
I was gonna
that.
say fucking Weezer.
I am. I've been on Weezer lately. They've released 2 new albums this year, and they're so fucking good. Have you listened to them?
No.
One is a very 60s Beatles-inspired album.
Oh, yeah.
Okay Human. It's so much fun. I bop
I'm gonna
along
check
to
it out.
this
I didn't even know
so
that.
much. And then they have another one called Van Weezer, which is a Van Halen metal-y kind of hair metal tribute album. It's not nearly as good, but man, both are a fun fucking time. Weezer comes in and out of my life at really random times.
I'm gonna definitely
It's a
check that
love-hate time, you know? But man,
Well,
Okay Human.
There's 2 new Weezer albums.
Yeah, in a year.
Why wouldn't you be listening to them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put a status up on Facebook. It's like, if you're not listening to Weezer in 2021, you're doing music wrong.
right.
Yeah, when we were coming up with the ideas for all these new cars, I was like, all right, this has to be Australian band themed and Australian music industry themed. And he's just like listing off all these really good ones, and he goes, look, you've got to put Weezer. And I was like, okay.
It's funny because I was holding the Weezer card, but I never had an option to play.
There's got to be some point, like, there's got to be, if you don't like, I mean, you've got to at least love the Blue album.
Yeah,
you have to.
100%.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, so I think that sort of brings us to the end of the first episode. Thanks for coming, Mikey,
Thank you for
man.
having
You've
me.
made
Thank
it
you so
such
much.
a good
Jed, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for coming, man. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
a lot.
Jed, for
Yeah.
organising the whole thing.
Yep.
Thanks for having me, guys. This was actually my first podcast.
Well, there you
I
go.
listen to podcasts, but being on one, it's even better.
It's a whole new experience.
It's a fun time.
And also, this was Mikey's first time ever playing Cards Against Humanity. So, round of applause for Mikey for that. He picked it up very quickly, and he fucking won.
Yeah.
Voylant Soho.
Wheeling Soho. That's because I'm illiterate as
Yeah.
fuck.
Okay.
Can you make a shirt that actually just says Boiler?
Story. This guy years ago tried. This is
Was it a
just as we're
knockoff?
closing out. This guy years ago tried to like help us out. There's this guy who lived at the Sunny Coast. He booked us like we like opened for like the Butterfly Effects at some gig that he was promoting.
I love the butterfly.
And he made a bunch of fucking bookmarks, right?
Yeah.
That he gave to us. He printed off like he had like a printing company, printed off a bunch of bookmarks, and they were like gave us like 1,000 of these fucking things, bookmarks.
Yeah.
And they said Voylant Soho. Voilent. And I remember when I opened up the box and I was like, it's spelled wrong. Like 1,000 of these fucking things, man. And he was like, just give them out anyway.
It's a waste of paper if you don't.
Yeah. This
All
is my
right.
second time encountering.
So yeah, there is some rare Soho merch, floating around there. If you have a
Boylan Soho.
if you have a Boylan Soho bookmark, put it up on eBay. It'll sell for easily hundreds of bucks.
NFT that shit.
What
Yeah,
was the CD?
Yeah.
What was the band for the CD?
showroom.
Yeah, if anybody has a showroom CD, please send it through to us. Just send us an email. I'll get that on somewhere
you
wherever
20
this
grand,
podcast is. We
Okay.
want one of these CDs.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in episode 2, I guess.
Whenever that is.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to top.